Sorry. Good evening, everyone. The meeting is called to order. Hope County Board of Education monthly meeting, August 12, 2025. The time is now 6 o'clock p.m. At this time, I'm going to ask Board Member Angela Sutherland if she will lead us into prayer.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for this day. Lord, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy. God, we thank you for giving us another opportunity to come together one more time. And God, as we go into a new year, 25, 26, God, we're asking you to watch over our children, keep them safe, no harm to come upon them, keep our teachers safe, our administrators safe, our bus drivers, everybody that's attached to the school district. Lord, just keep us safe. And God, as we, the board, continue to go and make decisions on behalf of the district, God, just give us the understanding and the knowledge of how to present and how to bring things over well. So God, we ask in your son Jesus' name to continue to watch over us and protect us. Amen.
Thank you so much for that. At this time, I need a motion to approve the agenda for today.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve today's agenda.
Second.
Okay, the motion has been made to approve the agenda for August 12, 2025. It's been second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Okay, thank you so much. At this time, this chair's report, I just want to say good evening to board members, superintendent, to our cabinet members, to the guests that's here today. Thank you so much for being here with us this evening. We are excited to begin this new school year. We thank you for all those that worked hard during the summer to make sure that things are in place for the upcoming school year. We're gonna continue to drive this district forward. I like the t-shirts for the convocation this year. I love the wording on it. We working to make things better. Construction, we under construction to be a better district. So I just want to thank everyone for everything that you do, all your hard work, your passion for the students and for this district. That's it for me. Do any other board members have anything you want to say?
I just wanted to add, Madam Chair, about a month ago, a parent was concerned about the bus stops in your neighborhood. And she wasn't calling for her particular child, but it's a chat that they have now in the neighborhoods. And they was concerned about just having one stop in this particular neighborhood. So I told her to contact Mr. Heath. She did. He responded right away. He even went out to the neighborhood. And he went the extra mile. So that's one reason why I want to make that, mention of that. He went there, saw that there was a safety issue because they're continuing to build in that neighborhood, and he included more stops. So I thought he was going to be here, but I called him today to tell him that how I really, really appreciated him going the extra mile and looking out for the safety of the children. That's awesome.
That's some good people in this district. Any other board members?
Madam Chair, if I would, I just want to give praise to the administration, to Dr. Spell and the staff for moving the policies forward. I don't think a lot of people know this, but on 31 July, we took pretty much a whole day, and we were able to review and revise about 55 policies, and it was somewhat a little stressful, fun, but we moved a lot of policies forward to the next stage. So I just want to give a special thanks to the administration, especially Dr. Spell's leadership.
Thank you. Awesome. Anyone else? Okay. If nothing else, at this time we'll have the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Blue. This is probably the second most exciting time of the year for administrators. The most exciting time for graduation. That's what we do. Teachers returned on the 11th. We're very happy about that. Very excited. We're getting ready for our back to school program on Saturday. We have book bags for our kids. We have a lot of exciting games for them. So we're really looking forward to that. And that event is going to be being chaired by Dr. Owens. And you have a copy of the flyer. It's going to be at East Hope from 9 to 1. Parents can come out and pick up school supplies. And get a hot dog, and we'll have book bags for our parents and for our students. So it's just gonna be a very exciting time, just like it was last year. So we're really looking forward to that. Hope we're blessed with the good weather that we had last year. Now the heat, we can't worry about that because we live in North Carolina and we understand it's gonna be hot, so. But I'm excited, definitely excited. Also, I'm gonna go on the radio this week, probably be interviewed by, the legendary Mr. Hollingsworth, and we're gonna talk about, the upcoming school year. We'll talk about the back to school, bash, talk about back to school university. And we're also gonna talk about, our goals for the year and the theme of this school year, unity, and I won't give the exact theme away. I'm gonna give that away at convocation. But the unity and working together for students, we'll have a nice conversation about that. Ms. Hollingworth, we've talked about that a little bit before, but we're gonna talk about it a little bit more. And how excited we are for the students coming back on the 22nd. Convocation coming up on the 22nd. Another exciting event for students, not students, but staff and administration. Gonna get together, share our theme, again, talk about the next year, school year. And we're also gonna share with the community our of the year winners, principal of the year, teacher of the year, teacher assistant of the year, superintendent award. So it's gonna be a very festive event. One of the most festive 2 hours of your life. So we're gonna do that from 9 to 1, and then we're gonna have our nice celebration lunch that we normally have. So I know I'm very excited about that, putting the final touches on my speech and everything. It won't be a dissertation, because again, we're just doing 9 to 11, and we're gonna be very positive and upbeat about the things that we talk about that day. I think, the fact that we're doing those of the year is gonna be a great thing. And we have some great candidates. Right now, they're candidates, they get the awards, and then they'll be recipients. And I also want to thank Ms. Allison Jones for the work that she put into that. It's a very hard thing to do, and she's done an excellent job with it. So looking forward to that. And then the most exciting part of it all is August 25th, I believe it is, Monday morning. The students are coming, they'll be back. We're glad to see them. All the administrators and cabinet members, we're gonna be at schools that morning with kids, welcoming them back. I think I'm gonna start out at Hawkeye Elementary that morning. We'll fill in at schools, and it's just good to see the kids, after a long summer. So we're glad to see them. I know they'd be glad to see their principals. So that's what we've been up to. It's a long summer, and it's a culmination of the summer, and everything coming together. That's what we're looking forward to.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Spears. At this time, we have spotlight on success.
All right, good evening.
Good evening.
How are y'all? I'm Karen Nichols. I'm the coordinator of digital teaching and learning and library media services here in the school system. And so thank you for allowing me a few moments this evening to celebrate two of my outstanding members of my team. They're sitting back here in the back. I've got Ms. Shirley Gibson and Ms. Marian Elliott. I'm back here. I am thrilled to share that for the very first time in our school district's history, I'm reading a little bit, y'all, because I'm a little nervous, okay? Two of our libraries received the prestigious Laura Bush Foundation for America's Libraries grant. It's a big deal. It's a national program that has awarded over $23 million to schools since 2002. And this year, each of our winners will get $5,000 to expand and diversify their collections. Now, I encouraged all of the librarians to apply for this grant this year. And when I found out that we had received one, I was ecstatic. And in fact, I texted Dr. Ramsey. I said, oh my gosh, we got the Laura Bush grant. I'm so excited. And then I got the notification we received 2. And that is unheard of for a district to get 2. So proud of these ladies and the work that they put in to get this grant. Charmaine, if you'll stand up, Charmaine. Charmaine's grant is going to focus on resources for exceptional children in the self-contained classrooms and English language learners at the high school. We don't have very many books for them, and so that's her heart. She brings those EC kids in every week to do activities with them, and so this is something that will support her program for that. She's going to add high-interest picture books, accessible chapter books, and culturally diverse titles to inspire engagement and ensure every student sees themselves in that library in Hope County High. So then when you have Marion, Marion will stand up. Marion is our librarian at Steed Elementary. And her grant is going to address a major gap in representation. If you didn't know, 27% of the students at Don Steed are of Hispanic heritage, but only 2% of the books in that library collection represent those students. So she will end up getting Spanish language, bilingual books, culturally rich titles, as well as audiobooks to support English language learners. So that's what she will do with her $5,000. And so these grants, they're more than just new books. They're investments in equity, inclusion, and the joy of reading for all of our students. I'm very proud of all of my librarians. I'm particularly proud of these ladies today, and I'm excited to see the impact that these resources will have on our school community. So thank you for giving us a moment and celebrating this accomplishment with us tonight.
If y'all have any questions, they can tell me.
Awesome, that is awesome. Thank you so much, and congratulations, ladies.
Didn't you?
I videoed you.
Yeah, didn't you win a grant, at
Yes.
one point as well?
In 2022, I wrote the Dodea Fresh Reads. If you guys heard Fresh Reads, the book
Right.
vending machines, all of that, we've got $1.78 million.
Well, we want to salute
Great. Great,
And I'm
thanks.
working on one for Turlington. I did write one this year, earlier, through, Lumbee River Electric, the Bright Ideas, because we don't have books for our kids at
Right.
Turlington. So I'm working to try to maybe get some books in the school for those students as
We
well.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to all of you.
All right, Hope County. All right. All right. At this time, we have public comment.
Good evening. We have 5 individuals that have signed up for public comment tonight. Each of you, I will call in the order that you signed up. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. I will keep time. The first person on our list tonight is Brandy McGirt.
Good evening and happy Tuesday, you all. Like she said, I am Brandy McGirt. I am the program director of Molding Young Moguls. Molding Young Moguls is the Youth Services Department of Community Outreach Advocates. Molding Young Moguls is funded by the Hope County Juvenile Crime Prevention Council to manage 2 programs, the Hope County Leadership Academy and the Hope County Teen Court Program. With the new year upon us and all our exciting plans coming up, we found it super important that we personally introduce ourselves and our programs to you guys this year, in hopes that when you see us in the community, we're not strangers, but you recognize us as partners and better yet, teammates. So, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Tia Thomas.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Tia Thomas, and I am standing on behalf of Hope County Leadership Academy. And so this will be a trauma-informed developmental responsive and youth leadership program. So it's going to be designed to equip middle and high school students with interpersonal, emotional, and social skills necessary to thrive in school relationships and community life. So we have a program where I'll be challenging the students to practice leadership skills throughout their livelihood as well as in school settings. So I would love to do as much as I can to partnership with you all throughout the school system as well as with our students throughout the community. So I'm excited.
Oh,
All right. Zana Patillo.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Zora Patillo. I'm the program coordinator for Hope County Teen Court, a youth-led restorative program which offers second chances through courtroom experiences and peer leadership. Our goals are to lower repeat offenses, improve home and school behavior, provide life skills training, and to help youth leaders grow into responsible leaders. Our youth volunteers are given real courtroom responsibilities, which contribute to building leadership, public speaking, and team working skills. Our youth attorneys represent the respondent or communities by asking questions and presenting arguments. Our jurors are important because they listen to the cases by providing these fair restorative consequences, and our bailiffs help to maintain order and support courtroom procedures. Currently, we're looking for more youth and adult volunteers, and we're working to raise awareness in our schools and our community spaces about the program. We're looking primarily for support from our educators and administrators, and we're looking for opportunities to also partner with school staff to identify any students who are thriving in these leadership roles that can benefit from Teen Court. Lastly, we have goals to improve our mentorship and training opportunities. So on August 25th to the 27th, we're offering a Teen Court intensive training from 5:30 to 7:00 p.m. at the Courthouse Annex, followed by our first real live hearing. We would greatly appreciate it if you all would come. Thank you.
Right.
Avant Norwood.
That's for what date that was?
25th,
26.
7. 5:37.
Good afternoon, board members.
Good afternoon.
I think it's very important that I come up and speak today because oftentimes you hear parents talk about the issues that they have at school. I don't know why I'm so nervous to talk all the time. And I didn't know Ms. Pevin was gonna be here, so I don't want her to think that I'm doing this because she's here, but I just wanna talk about how great our teams are at our schools. I have a son that attends Scurlock Elementary, and I have a son that attends Hope County High School. And I also know some teachers at other schools, Donsty, and I just wanna say that our teachers are amazing. And it's very fitting that Dr. Spells mentions unity because I think that is very important for parents and for other staff to unite with the teachers and support them. And so I just want to say thank you to a few teachers that I have on my list. First and foremost, my favorite principal, Ms. Colleen Pegram. When I tell you she has a heart for the children, she definitely has a heart for the children. She talks to parents. To be a principal of a school of over 2,000 kids, she is there front and center. Anytime I've picked up my phone or anytime I've sent an email, she's answered me. And thank you. And I think that we have to just tell them we appreciate them more and support them. Right. I also want to call out Miss Shauna Burns from Hope County Elementary School. Scurlock. Miss Kristen Dene from Donsty. And I just want to say something about Miss Dene. She's a PE teacher. Yearly, she spends $2,000 out of her own pocket just to help out her students. And I may have this number wrong, and correct me, but from my understanding that the teachers can only get reimbursed at up to $250 on their taxes. And there are so many teachers inside of Hope County who do this. And so myself and Miss Tamara Sanders, we have, gotten together, and it's nothing official, but we do our best to support the teachers any way we can. We do raffles for them, we do drawings for them, because we want them to know that they're appreciated. We want them to know that they're supported. And there are so many teachers. I was on Facebook the other day and I saw a parent complaining about having to spend $60 in school supplies. And I know many teachers who spend upward of $2,000 many teachers who spend upward of, hundreds of dollars for these students so that they can have. And we recently tried to do a Stuff the Trunk event for our teachers where we collected supplies that they needed for their classrooms. And it didn't receive that much support. So I like to just say that we had a great faculty. Unfortunately, a lot of teachers left Scurlock last year. One in particular, my son wanted to be in her class so bad, and I really feel like it's because they don't get the support that they need. And so I just want to be the first one to say, probably not the first, I'm probably like, but if we can just figure out the way to get the community to support these teachers. A lot of teachers don't do it for the money. They're here for the children. A lot of teachers I know, Miss Alexander from Scurlock, she works 2 jobs, and she has five children at home. So if we can just think about that, then thank you.
I'm sorry, thank you. And then finally we have Tamar Sanders.
Stand by, Grace.
Hold on one second.
Can you help Ms. Pettigrew to ask the parents to allow their students to come to school dressed for success? Well, we certainly appreciate that. Thank you.
And finally we have Tamar Sanders.
Tamara Sanders, how you doing?
Oh, pardon me, excuse me.
No, that's no problem. I'm here to How are you, everyone?
Hi.
You all look lovely.
Thank you.
And hate to come behind her because she did such a great job. But I do want to mention one of my teachers, one of my spotlight teachers from last year, Mrs. Flemings. She was my son's English teacher, and she helped improve my son's ACT score, reading score, from 24 to a 30. So that was a really big jump. So just for that, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here. How much time I got left? Because you cut me off that time. My feelings was hurt. I'm here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the policy meeting. I don't know where my invitation went, but I'm here today. And I don't know if this is one of the policies that you guys updated, but I do want to speak on it. I know you got the hiring process for Hope County. I'm a little bit frustrated with it because I guess everybody who's hired here has to be approved by the board, but the board only meets once a month. So if we got employees that come in mid-month, like right now, they're too late. They got to wait until next month to get approved. Or this is what I was told. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's the policy. I don't know if you changed it, but this is what I was just told recently, as of yesterday, that they wouldn't be able to start if they put in an application and got everything, that they would not be able to start onboarding until the 9th. So, and it's kind of like frustrating. I don't know if there's a mix between communications or policies, or everybody's not on the same page. If we could just get everybody on the same page so misinformation is not passed around. Now, I do make it my business. I've spoke to several people. I've spoke to a couple of y'all about the process, and I've been told one thing or another, but when I call, I get a different answer. So if we can make sure everybody's on the same page, because we don't want any misconception or a confusion about how we do things here. We want everybody to be aware of what's going on. And so, yeah, we can get that policy posted somewhere so I can be updated at least on how it works, the onboarding process. So if somebody put in an application, all your paperwork is in, can they start immediately, or is it, I understand it's time, it's a process. You got to get your background check and all that, but all that stuff will go. What are we waiting for? We're waiting for 3 weeks for the board to meet again, and then, because that's how we lose people. That's how we lose, productive people that we need that could be beneficial to our school board and to our teachers and to our schools and our staff. So that's all I have to say. And again, you all look lovely. Thank you.
That's it.
That's it. I'll turn it back over to you, Ms. Blue.
Okay, thank you so much. At this time, we are down to the consent agenda. And the first item on the consent agenda is the minutes for July 8th and 31st, 2025. And the second item is school board policy first read.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I actually had a question about the policy change.
Okay, which one?
Policy 7440, assignments, reassignments, and transfers. It appears that we're removing employees' right to appeal to a transfer decision to the board. Is that, I could be reading it wrong, but I just want clarification because I'm not on the policy committee.
Which one? Again, I'm sorry.
7440.
And your question is?
About the amendment that's being made to the policy.
All assignments and transfer of district employees to the schools are responsibility of the superintendent. Is that what you're referring to?
I'm referring to the part at the bottom, it's in red. You see it?
Yes, scratch through?
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
It says an employee may appeal a transfer decision to the board. The board generally will uphold transfer decisions made in accordance with this policy if they're not arbitrary in play. Basically, we're getting rid of staff's right to appeal to the board.
No?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
we're not given, that right away. We just simply, restructure the sentence, so, where we're pretty much saying that the superintendent, does a transfer unless there's an egregious, incident that the superintendent violated, i.e. political, in nature, then the employee does have the right to appeal. So what we're saying is that we're not going to accept appeals just because a teacher, as an example, does not want to move from Hawkeye Elementary School to Scurlock School Elementary School, unless the teacher, as an example, has a legitimate complaint, i.e. political, and there's some other areas in there. So that's all we did. The employees still have the right to appeal if it's some egregious violation of their rights.
Where does it say that in the policy?
Because
it appears it's
there's
just being
other
removed, but no.
there's other areas that, I mean, we revised 50-some policies. So the other thing, I'm kind of curious. I wish this question should have been brought a whole lot earlier, because I don't know about the rest of the board, but we're not here to discuss one specific policy, because this can go on and on and on. So if one of the board members wants to discuss a specific area, this is why you can, as an example, send an email and we can address it accordingly. This is the first read.
Actually, the board meeting is where we're supposed to discuss it and where the questions are supposed to be brought about.
If this up on the consent agenda is to be voted on, to be passed. But Marcia sends this, you sent this to us on last.
Thursday or Friday?
Yes, and anytime that you have questions, you're supposed to, might not know it, but you're supposed to just let us know, so we can go ahead and address that. But employees they have a right to
So
appeal.
it was removed specifically from this policy because there are other
Other
avenues
policies.
for which employees can grieve if they believe there's been a policy violation, misapplication of law. As far as it specifically saying in this policy that they can appeal, they certainly can if they believe they've been discriminated against, retaliated against, anything of that nature that would be unlawful. There are other policies to handle that, and they may appeal that decision to move their employment to a different school via one of those policies, if that helps.
Any other questions? Okay.
So, I mean, I'm sort of curious now, but I haven't been here, so I saw this, I got back last night, so, I just want to be clear, Grace. So you're saying that this is sort of just a duplicate, and there are other policies where staff members, teachers can appeal, and this is sort of duplicate, so this is why they sort of written this here. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, so this would be in the way that most employee contracts are written, they are not entitled to a specific school assignment. But if an employee feels that the reason for their transfer is discriminatory, political, personal, arbitrary, capricious, any of those things, there are numerous policies under which they may avail and file a grievance. A lot of those policies are actually also on this agenda, the consent agenda today. So for example, you have policy 1710, which prohibits discrimination, harassment, and bullying. Policy 1750, which is the grievance procedure for employees, allows employees to file an appeal or a grievance anytime they believe that there's been a specific kind of final administrative decision that's adversely affected them. So that would be the avenue through which they could bring a challenge to maybe a transfer to a different school.
Thank you. Any more questions, concerns? Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved in second to approve the consent agenda for the minutes, July 8th and 31st, 2025. School board policy first read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers?
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it. Next, we will have administration, and we go into information. First, we have construction updates.
Chad, doesn't anyone have to get up and talk anymore? Just looks at me and goes, you're on. Good evening, everybody. What a great time it is of year. Again, as the chair, Dr. Spell said, one of the best times getting staff back in the buildings and students. And just to remind you, we're going to get to the schedule here, but next year at this time, you'll be talking about the brand new high school and how that's occupied and the ribbon cutting's done and all that. So it'll be also more to celebrate at that time. So we're looking ahead to that. So right now, we got to get there. So this will be the brief picture show and hopefully a brief talk. I won't be long-winded, I hope. Go through what we're used to in the format. Photos just to give you information. You drive by on the road, but you haven't been inside, so I'll walk you through some of that. And then we'll talk about the schedule and the budget. So next slide, please. So as you drive by, you can see a lot. You can't see the roof. Good news is the roof is about 90% up there, so getting dried in a lot of areas. They have the stuff area over just past the gym. They were finishing up in this photo. So probably by next week, we're hoping that the roof is all on and the building is dried in from above. That's a good place to be. Can't see that from the ground, but you can see all the work and the workers up there and everything going on. So good news. That's a good milestone to get dry underneath. Next slide, please. You see this kind of coming in, but you can see in the foreground here, so that's a gym in the background, but the foreground, that's a stone for that drop-off loop that's going to go around the front of the building for a parent pickup and drop-off. So that's another good thing to see. You see all the brick going up around the gym and the admin and everything, and now you can see kind of where that drop-off loop's coming, so that's a good sign of upcoming paving. I'll let you two handle that. Next slide, please. This is your front entry. It's kind of that large portico opening. So you can see the framing, the brick on the other side. That metal panel work is just about to start. We had a pre-installation conference today with the contractors. They're getting ready to mobilize out there to begin putting their panels in. And immediately following that, we'll be getting the storefront in there. So that'll really start taking shape instead of being a big long hole through the middle of the building. Next slide. Looking down towards the classroom wing from there, you can see the masonry is done in the foreground, and they're starting the EFA system in the back where the math, language arts, social studies, all those classrooms are from the original plan. We went through that before. So lots going on, still some dirt in the foreground for a while. Next slide, please. This is your reception area once you come in. That's a brick wall backdrop. So there'll be a floating ceiling over that. So you'll be in the lobby looking into the reception area there. So things are starting to move along. Next slide, please. This is again looking back towards the commons from the top of the learning stair. And you can see that it's from previous pictures about the glulam wood roof beams, and the partitions are up. They're all getting ready to put the drywall up on the walls now. You can see some of that starting on the first floor as they're wrapping that up and moving to the second floor. So what used to be big open views through all the rooms is starting to get confined into classrooms now. Next slide, please. And this is just looking back the other way from there. You get a sense of that space down there. That's where the books and the media center all be spread through there. Next slide, please. Looking down the hallway area of that, and you can see the drywall on the left where the entries to all the classrooms are. Next slide, please. So to give you a sense of the classroom, a typical classroom on that wing. You get a feel for the size with the board up, and you can see the large window there for a lot of good daylighting into the space. And then that large opening, which will be glass. So we'll let that light spread throughout and visibility clear. Next slide, please. Always like to show the good things about systems going in place before it's covered up. You'll see the nice yellow insulation in the wall there. That's to help control sound between all the classrooms. Some people have much deeper booming voices than I have, and we don't need to hear that everywhere. So it's good to see all that's in place exactly how it's supposed to be, floor to ceiling, to help acoustically seal those spaces. Next slide, please. And again, up on the roof, I took this because the framing for the glass is starting kind of at the top around the clear story. If you remember from that central commons area, that was all glass that's around the sides, letting daylight come into the middle of the building. It's very exciting. And you can see the framework going up and getting ready for measurement for glass. Next slide, please. Hard to see this one. It's easier to zoom in on your computer. You can see School Road on the right there. Was taking this to kind of show that the winding's done there. You could kind of, when you drive down there, see the pavement that was tied in, drainage work done. You can see where that loop, front pickup drop-off loop is coming in the foreground there. And then to the left is where they started the demolition installation of water line utilities to get ready for the canopy that goes down Bethel where it was closed off. Next slide, please. And that's what you got to zoom into here. But you can see, and if you drive by, you can see the disturbance. Of course, in the foreground, we discovered a new lake when they tore some things out and created a new road, which they promptly got on and corrected and found a drainage method for now. When the project's finally done, that grade will be higher and there won't be a lake, but always happens during which, and that's why we have contractors that pay attention and remedy it. Next slide, please. Always like to show the pretty stuff to me. This is the stuff that makes systems happen in the building. Mechanical units being in place. You can see the hookup of the water lines. Again, it's the geothermal loop system. So that's the supply and return lines on the left going into the unit. They pressure testing them. You can see them hooked up. And on the right, you can see getting in the trench work for communication cabling and power coming out to the site lighting, the generator, and other things. So all the things that make the building operate and run the way you want it to, like on humid days like this, and make it nice and comfortable inside. Those are things that excite me and that shouldn't excite you, but I'm trying. Next slide, please. So the schedule, this is, again, something we want to talk about every time. Nothing's changed on this. So that's so far good news. But just remind everyone the 2 phases and then the occupy in between. And so next summer is going to be a very busy summer with bringing the big classroom shuffle of classes vacating the one side to go into the new other side coming over, a lot of moving around is going to happen. So it's going to be a very busy summer to get everything in place, but we accounted for the time to do that. You can see we're looking to be done about March, end of March, April. And so that gives plenty of time to get all the furniture in the building, be ready for teachers to finish their last day at school, and then to begin moving all the classrooms around. So when they come back in August, they're ready. So that's the schedule. So far, everything's looking great to make sure we're ready for that come June. Next slide, please. So as far as the budget goes on the project, little changes. The contractor is actually, that's a typo on me. I'll explain later. They're about 56.9% paid right now, which is tracking with their progress. You can see the contingencies. Again, there were 3 categories: contractor, design, and owner. The contractor contingencies used about 62%. The design team has exceeded theirs at about 141. But the owner contingency grew again, gained more money at 34.4%. So overall, doing well. Yeah, total between all 3 of those, just over 2.4 million. Remaining about 1.7. Okay, so that's good. We still have some that we're reviewing that have to do with the retention ponds and things that have to happen on the site. And those are going to be about 935,000, which means even if those costs are the end final costs, still just over $750,000 in contingency, and we're wrapping up everything out there. So far, the contingencies are holding steady very well for the project. No concerns by anyone at this time. Next slide, please. Oh, there's no next slide. No. It is the other slide, the financial sheet. I should put those together in one, I think, next time. That'll make it easier. So on the financial sheet, it's the same format that you're used to seeing, that we have broken up by the project agreed to cost by categories on the left. And then I highlight the cells in the blocks where we had some cost changes. So the cost change in column E for general contractor, that amount was incorrect. I had an error in my Excel sheet where it did not carry it over from a recent pay app. So that number is actually just over $37 million. That's why the previous slide I had that error in the calculation. All the other values are accurate throughout there. You'll see some contingency disbursements are made, the design team getting paid. The board approved the additional costs for the material testing to finish out the project. That came from the miscellaneous app fees line item because we had money in there that had not been encumbered or allocated. And then we had the board approve the commissioning contract at its last meeting. And so you can see on the far right, there is about $133,000 that was budgeted for that item that is not accounted for anywhere. So that money is considered available. And as we talked about last time, everything on that far right column that has not been encumbered or allocated, as the project begins to wind down in areas and costs become known, we will be back, Dr. Hunt and I, before the board with recommendations on things that money could go to towards the project out there for betterment for the students. So that the project budget, 78.4 million, remains strong and consistent throughout. I'll stop talking and answer any questions you have.
Did anyone have any questions? No?
I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did you say you did?
Oh, I do.
Oh, you do?
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
She said.
Okay.
Oh, you don't.
I'll loiter a little bit.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we're at the vacancy report.
Madam Chair, board members, Superintendent Dr. Spells, good evening. I'm here tonight to present our vacancy report, but before I start, I do want you to know I am in my red tonight because we have our new teacher orientation. Today we had 75 teachers to participate in our new teacher orientation today at East Hope. Tomorrow is day 2. They were so excited to have them on board to be a part of our Hope County school families. And we are excited to have them for our new teachers. So if you want to come out, please come out tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. Curriculum starts tomorrow at 1 o'clock to support them with their 12 o'clock, 12:30. For curriculum tomorrow morning, we start at 8 o'clock with our new teachers. So please come out and support our new teachers. A lot of them moved into our area here in Hope County. So we want to make sure that we support them so we can try to retain them in the district. And then if not, you can come at least have lunch with them. And lunch is at 11 o'clock. And where is this? East Hope Middle. Yes. Wear a jacket. It's cold for some people. Okay. They have a new AC unit. And it's working. Okay, for our vacancy report, I am excited about our vacancy report. You can see on there, we have a total of 60 vacancies. But after make my recommendation to the board this afternoon, it should move us down to a total of 48 vacancies starting the school year. So we have the principals, directors, and the HR team has been working extremely hard to ensure that we fill our vacancies. With that, we do have 81 new international teachers in our district starting this year as well.
You're doing good. Awesome, thank you so much, Dr. Fortney. At this time, we will, did anybody have any questions for her? No. Okay, all right, financial month today.
Good evening. So this evening, we are going to talk about the financial month-to-date tidbits. So budgets are now beginning to drop. Let me wait to get the next slide.
Yeah.
Budgets are beginning to drop, and we have now received some of our major state funds, such as our classroom teachers, our central office positions. Most of the money that has dropped has to do with payroll and getting our people paid. So those are the ones that have dropped. So because of this, we will not have a budget amendment until September's board meeting that will give us a better snapshot of what money is coming to Hope County Schools. So doing all of this, just so we know, with our budget restraints, we did lose another teaching position. We also lost the instructional support person. And then the last finance meeting that we had, finance officers were told that we lost PRC 42 and PRC 43, which is our child and family support teams that supports our nurses and our social workers and other key important people for student support personnel. And we were told that they may give it back to us in another PRC, but that hasn't come to fruition yet, nor has they just discussed it anymore. So in that, we had 3 of our highest paid nurses in one of those funds, and we had other personnel there too. So we're now trying to find a way to make sure we can keep our nurses because we need them. Okay, so because our ADM, our student count, has dropped and is slowly decreasing, it's affecting our overall funding calculations, which means that our overall budget has gone down. So I know we've been talking about this for a while, but each year it seems like it's getting lower and lower, and we're still having to find a way to make sure we can run the school system. Because of these deficits, we have to gain control over our positions to ensure that we're not spending money unnecessarily and making sure we're getting everything that we need to make sure our students are receiving what they need to succeed. So PSUs, all LEAs across the state of North Carolina, because of these deficits in the money that we're receiving, a lot of them are going into their fund balance to make sure. That's the reason why we have to make sure we're keeping our position control under budget. So if we lose students, then we should be also losing adults. You know, and nobody wants to be the one to tell this person, well, you don't have a job, and nobody wants to do that in the middle of the year. So during the summer months and months when people are leaving, sometimes we cannot replace them. So we have to be very careful about how Hope County Schools is bringing in people so we don't run out of money. Okay, so we have 2 types of funding, and I need you all to know this. This information I'm giving you is to help you understand how the finance part of the school system works. So we get 2 pots of type of money. So we get position and we get dollar amount. So with our position, that is like our teachers. Okay, let's go to the next slide, I'm sorry. So with the position allotments, we have our teachers, our enhancement teachers, which are resource teachers, our school building administrations, which are our principals and our assistant principals, and our CTE positions. Right now, we have a total of 14 principals and 18 assistant principals, but they only gave us enough positions to cover the 14 principals and 10 of our assistant principals. So now we're having to find funds to pay them from our dollar allotments. So when we get to our dollar allotments, that's just straight funding. And then that's the money that we have to make sure we are being able to pay somebody. But when you think about the difference between the position allotments and the dollar allotments, if somebody's making $50,000, that position allotment is gonna take care of whatever to that person. But when you talk about your dollar amount allotments, we have to make sure we're taking care of their salary as well as their benefits. And this year, the benefits, the Social Security stayed the same, but retirement has gone up a little bit to 24.67, and our health insurance has gone up like $500. So now we're talking about a major difference that's going to hit our budget because those are not coming for salary. That's what we have to pay for our employees. Okay, so we go to the next one.
Can I ask?
Yes.
A question? So we have what, 14 schools? Why is the state only paying for 10 assistant principals? Even if Hokai didn't have 4 or 5 assistant principals, right? And we all had assistant principals in every school, which is 14 schools. Why are they only paying for 10?
Well, because there is a calculation they do for your ADM. They give you an assistant principal for so many students that you have. So we have always had more assistant principals than the state said we could.
So like McLaughlin shouldn't have, based on the state.
Based on the size of the school,
Right.
yes, ma'am, they should not.
And neither should Hawkeye.
Okay. Okay, so teacher assistants and custodians, and I did have this discussion with the principals when we had our leadership meeting. So all of our teacher assistants are now hourly. Principals and bookkeepers have been informed. Our teacher assistants, the majority of them are 75%. This change took place over 15 years ago. That means that they're only supposed to be working 6 hours a day. So the calls are coming in, they're asking questions because the bus driver, because our staff is dual employed, which means that when they're hired, they sign the form that says that they will agree to drive a bus if they're needed. So that's the opportunity that they have to become from 75% to be able to earn that 25% to make them, I use this lightly, 100%. But that is not a guarantee to drive a bus, but the 75% is a guarantee. And they have to understand that. And I've also talked to the principals. They're only supposed to work up to 6 hours in that school because that's the money that we're receiving. So many years ago, the state took away teacher assistant money and said we were only supposed to have teacher assistants in kindergarten. Hope County decided that they wanted to make sure our first grade and our second grade teachers had teacher assistants, so that's why they became 75%. And we really can't work around that because we don't have anywhere else to pay them from but from that teacher assistant pot. Now, the custodians are still salaried. The ones that drive a bus, they must make sure they're going back to their schools to make up their hours. And like I said, I did discuss this with the principals. The reason why I'm sharing it with you all, because some of them may get disgruntled and decide to call you. So I don't want you to go and say, well, I don't know anything about that. So now you know that there's 75%. That has been something that's been going on for years. Right. 6 hours in school, unless they're driving a bus. No other job can equate to making them 100%. It's bus driver and teacher assistant. Okay, thank you. Next slide, please. Okay, so we had a salary study. So I brought the information I gave you to the table before, but we decided to wait until after salary study was done. So we determined and we found out the whole county is paying the best that it can based on with the money that it gets. So we have fixed a couple of jobs that you guys have voted upon to put into the salary study. We have 3 jobs that do not fall under the NCDPI salary grade guidelines. That needs to be fixed. The information I'm bringing you today is just for information on today, but in September, I'm hoping that it can move to a consent or action item so that we can get this fixed, and this will be part of the last part that we have to fix. So our custodians should be on the NC guide of 01. We currently have 3 different custodian salary slides, and we should not. They all should be on the same scale, which has to be fixed. And I gave you all the information, so with the custodians, I need you to look at it and see. Right now, our custodian salary grades are all over the place, so we need to get that fixed. So while you're looking at it, when you look at it, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give me a call. We need to decide if we want to go with option 1 or option 2. So right now, all of our custodians are basically being paid on a $16.07 or more. So according to the NCDBI, that option 1 is what the scale should look like. We have to decide if we want to just move all of them, starting at the 5, the ones who are still supposed to be at 1607, or if we want to make step 0 to step 5, 1607. We can make that decision here, site-wide, if we want to. So I just need you guys to look at that and look at it. So with the child nutrition hourly, they're all making the same hourly pay, no matter if you've been here for 0 years or 30 years. So that definitely has to be fixed. And that's only, and it sounds strange, but what happened was whenever the state decided to raise everybody $15, everybody got stuck at that salary and it just kept moving down. So that has to be fixed, because I wouldn't want to be working for 20 years and making the same thing as someone who just came off the street. So, and that one is the second sheet I believe I gave you. Third sheet that I gave you. Okay, and that's what that one will look like. And I've already shared this with Ms. Carpenter to look at, and she said, yes, go ahead and bring it to you all. Okay, so the third one is the teacher assistant, who should be working from the NC grade of NC4 into NC06, which means if you come in as a teacher assistant with just the standard hours that you need, you will be on the NC4 scale. If you completed an associate's degree and proved it, then you should be on the NC5 scale. If you completed a bachelor's degree, and yes, sometimes they come in with a bachelor's degree because they're working their way up to being a teacher, then they should be on an NC06 scale. And these are things that we gleaned this information from whenever the salary study was done. But these have to be completed as soon as possible, so we can meet the standards. And I just need you to know also that a lot of people say, well, it's not fair, I'm not getting paid enough. But according to NCDPI, as long as we are fitting inside the scale, as long as we're paying them more than their starting salary and paying within that, Polk County Schools is okay.
So the NC04 scale, where it says teacher's assistant, what do they have? They have passed the test and not?
To be a teacher assistant,
right.
It's supposed to be so many study hours a day, supposed to have,
right.
To be a teacher assistant.
Like 48 hours at least.
At least, yes,
Okay.
ma'am. So we just want to especially make sure them, and like I said, I wish we could pay everybody what they deserve, but we have to stay within our budget. Any questions?
So next, you want us to look this over?
Yes, ma'am.
Come together as a board
Yes, ma'am.
and give you what we think, you know, what you want from us directly.
So right now, it's just information. I want to look at it and see if everything looks okay to you. And then if everything's okay, I guess you guys will let Dr. Spells know, so the next time we can put, because it has to be, you have to vote that these scales can go in the book.
By when?
Oh, I would hope that it could be by September, because that's when teacher assistants and subs will start getting, and custodians will start getting their pay.
Are you talking about either option 1 or option 2?
Right, with the,
Custodials?
yes, yeah. So just to make sure you understand about the custodians, right now, like I said, they're all over the book. But most of them, I don't think we have a custodian we may have one custodian that's making less than 1607 an hour. So we can decide to just make our scale start at 1607 and move down, or move all of them to step 5 that are making 1607, because some of them may have 2 years. So we will move them to step 5 just to make sure everybody is where they're supposed to be.
What number y'all there?
You should have to be meeting us.
That's fine.
And make sure you call and ask.
Any
If you
questions?
have any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Talk to
If you
Teacher
call.
Senate, make sure that, okay, you get your questions answered. And thank you, Ms. Richardson.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Next, we have driver's education.
Good evening, while we're waiting for the slide deck. All right, driver's education. So, good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Dr. Spills, and our guests in the audience. The purpose of tonight is, it is an information item, but the reason why it's an information item is back in the spring when we brought up the driver's ed contract. I informed you that I would meet with Ms. Pagram, devise a plan on how we would move forward with driver's ed for student sign up and processes at Hope County High School. So the purpose tonight is to deliver that information to you. Next slide, please. So the overall purpose is to provide an overview of the driver's education registration plan for Hope County High School, to highlight the enrollment process, student eligibility, schedule, and staffing responsibilities for 2025-26. And this information has already been shared with the NC Driving School. So they are expecting an update from me about this as well, just to let them know that I did share this with you and we'll be moving forward with it. And it is, if you don't not familiar with it, this is very similar to the way that Sandhope Early College does driver's education now for the sign-up process. But our overall goal is to also create a process that is structured, accessible, and fair for all students. Increase class sizes, because we've been doing it at 30 per class, and we're going to move it up to 35 per class. And NC Driving School is in agreement with that, and that is not impeding our budget for the driver's education for this year. And it's also to identify and offer driver's education to more students who need it, particularly those older students who are ages 16 or 17 who haven't had the course in the past. Next slide, please. These are the processes that we're going to take. The platform that we're going to use is, we have a Google form created. We're just going to copy it over from one school and use it at Hope County High School for the purpose of registration. Google Sheets, the purpose of Google Sheets is to use it for tracking and identifying students who are eligible for driver's education. We plan on advertising it through Canvas and sharing emails with parents as well as students to let them know that the window is open for registration, and also to inform them of this new registration process as early as possible. Our timing on this is that before an actual class begins, we're going to open this window up about 2 weeks ahead of time to provide students with ample time to register, but also for the staff member to go through and look at the qualifications and requirements to make sure that those students are meeting those, but also to identify the older students first. Next, let's see, eligibility. Still on the same slide. The eligibility to take driver's ed is for students that are 14 and a half through the age of 17 years old. Again, priority is going to be given to the oldest students first. And then we're also going to look at the academic progress towards education, because the students also have to be meeting that eligibility in order to obtain their DEQ and get a permit from the DMV. And that is in alignment with the DEQ regulation 16 NCAC 06E.0351. That's just for your reference. Which basically states that students must pass at least 70% of their classes in order to obtain the DEQ and obtain their driver's permit.
You should do that for sports.
Oh. And then at the bottom, notification, our staff members, once those students have been identified, we will email the parents and the students of the school to let them know that they're eligible and when the class dates start. And next slide, please. This is just a list of the class dates that the NC Driving School provided to us. And again, our goal is to increase it to up to 35 students per class. So we are looking at roughly 280 students this school year at Hope County High School for driver's education. And next slide, which completes tonight's presentation. Thank you.
But Madam Chair, I have a question. Thank you for all the work y'all did on this, for proceeding with the board's wishes about this. My question is, what is gonna be the check and balances to make sure that whoever's scrubbing the list, so the older kids that meet the other requirements are put ahead, what is gonna be the check and balances that we don't accidentally sneak somebody that's 15 when we had other 17?
So the way that process would work is not only have Ms. Pegram and I met about that, but also the assistant principals were involved in this conversation as well. We kind of sat down and collaborated on it. So the administrative staff is on board. Ms. Pegram has a staff member that she has identified that she is going to present this information to walk through with that. I'm going to sit down with Ms. Pegram. We're going to customize a formula so it calculates up their ages. So you're not just relying on the student to put the age in, but we'll be able to verify through Infinite Campus and what they're putting into, we'll be able to cross-reference the information that's put on this Google form, as well as what's in Infinite Campus to verify that they are the age that they're saying they are, right? So that's the first step. And then the next step is that ultimately Ms. Pegram has the ability to sign off on this, saying that she approves that pass roster list and that each student meets that those requirements and information.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Environmental graphics. Next.
Just switching my papers over. So good evening again. Tonight's presentation about the proposed updated environmental graphics for the new building that's currently being constructed for Hope County High School. The graphics have been updated to display the recently approved mascot logo that was done this past school year for Hope County High School. Next slide, please. So I'm not going to go through every single slide that you had previously. These are the ones that we made or discussed the recommendations about, and I shared that information with Loaded for Bear. We went back in and changed the graphic so that it could display those suggestions. Is this the updated version? Okay. So here, this is the front entrance. Over on the left-hand side is you have the big bold letters indicating Hope County High School. Is going to be dominant when visitors drive up in that roundabout circle when students are getting dropped off. Students and community members are going to know where they're at, that prominent display of Hope County High School. The other information that was suggested to be removed was up on the right-hand side. It also displayed Hope County High School, so we felt that that was going to be very redundant and didn't need it in both places. So we had that picture or those letterings removed from the canopy. Next slide, please. No, it's not the updated one, but I'm going through it. On this one, so whenever I say the updated one, I'll make sure that you guys get that presentation, because I took off the words recommended, because I found some errors on my side on that. But right here, these are the dining hall options. You have an option 1 and option 2. While it does display 2 different options, only one option will be chosen, and then that will be next month that I would like to receive that information as we go through this with the options. So we'll come back to you as an action item so that we can share this information with Loaded for Bear and get everything finalized for the environmental graphics. So on the left-hand side, that's that dark, well, I won't say dark because they're the same colors, but those are those bold, sharp lines. And you can see the new mascot or the new logo front and center on that. Option 2 is on the right-hand side. We refer to that as the camouflage, and that's really where the recommended is supposed to be at, is over on the right-hand side, where it represented somewhat of a camouflage, paying homage to our bordering Fort Bragg, Fort Liberty, our military families. So next slide, please. On here, this picture just provides an insight look at what the dining hall banners would look like with Hope County High School books on them. Over on the right-hand side, that's basically where the students would enter into the gym. And over on the left-hand side, that's more of the cafeteria part. So if we go to the next slide, please.
So is that your true recommendation on that?
No, it's not. The true recommendation is on this one, the bottom one, because in the other slide deck that I took that slide out, and this slide is the one that's on here, where the antlers and the logo was removed, but the Hope County High School were on the left-hand side with the initials, the books on the right-hand side, and my actual recommendation is the one that's on the bottom with the camouflage, with the camouflage pattern.
Okay, that's what maybe I'm looking at this.
Which
I'm
is
getting
not continued.
confused because that's what I'm looking at.
I think we
It's
have.
not, I'm not looking at that, I'm looking at this.
They have the
Mine's
updated
different.
version.
We got the updated version, I think,
Okay.
but that's
Well,
not.
I'm pretty good for memory for the updated version. Now, I don't know what's happening with why this one is displayed, and if that's the one that's on the
It's
agenda.
kind of.
Wait, go to the
It's
next
so
slide.
Yeah, because that mascot is not the same.
Okay, go. Just wait, maybe it's the next one.
Okay. Go to the next slide, please. Okay. So on this slide, the actual recommendation is over on the right-hand side for option 2, because that is the camouflage pattern that we were talking about. But this gives you an up-close and personal look, if you will, about what these banners would look like whenever you're actually in the dining hall and the commons area.
Yeah.
And if I need to come back and redo this all again next month,
Yeah,
I'll do
please,
that.
can
And
you,
then,
would it be too late if you do that?
no, ma'am, it won't. We can make that work. But I can do that. Would you rather for me to end the presentation now?
Yes, sir,
Yeah, we
yes,
can do that.
Yeah.
that's everything running together with mine.
But,
I understand.
Dr. Hunt,
Yes, ma'am.
slide 3, that's not our mascot, is it? On slide 3. Yeah. Right there. This one, I thought it was different, like,
It is.
huh? That's our mascot?
Yeah, that's the new one.
I don't look like it.
Can we just see an option with the bucket in white instead of blended into the calendar?
Yes, I can email them to get that updated to her.
Yeah,
It's all coming
I'm
together.
not charged.
But thank you though, that's a good presentation.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take care of it. But I'll come back next month and see you again.
I know.
Partnership agreement, community college.
Good evening. So tonight I'm bringing forward an information item on our updated partnership agreement and memorandum of understanding between the Hope County Board of Education and Sand Hills Community College Board of Trustees. And really, I'm just going to do a broad level overview. It's an agreement that we've had in place for some time. It just strengthens and renews our collaboration in 2 areas. One is for the Career and College Promise program, which is what we call our CCP program, and the other is at Sandhook Early College, High School. And so through the CCP promise, and we'll talk about that at the high school, eligible high school students, including mostly our juniors and seniors, in some rare cases, 9th and 10th graders, depending on eligibility in terms of classification, are able to take those college level courses at no cost. For tuition, they are able to do all of the student activities. They don't have to pay for any of those. They don't have to pay any technology fees. Those courses are offered at Sand Hills campuses and at Hoke High in some cases, and also online, so our students are able to take advantage of that. And we work with Sand Hills to align those course offerings with what our needs are, and students have full access to the campus facilities. And that's for, and not just for the facility itself, but they're also able to access academic supports. They are held both to our standards and to the Sandhook standards. So that's for our CCP program, which is at the high school. Then there's also the program that we have at Sandhook Early College, which is our MOU, that continues our program who are serving 9th through our year 13 students, where they can earn their diploma and associate's degree. And I might add, That's typically what we say for our San Hope Early College, but we do want it to be noted that our students at Hope High can also earn an associate's degree. So that is something that is attainable by all of our students. And I know that Ms. Pegram is working really hard to make that a reality for many of our students there. So those students at San Hope attend the classes at San Hope. They are accessing the school and classrooms and professors that are there. They have access to the same type of resources. And really, it's just an agreement that formalizes our shared commitment to just continue to expand student access.
Madam Chair. I don't know what page this is. It's 2.3 point college courses at Hope High School. Why 12 is the minimum? Why not 10?
Because we currently have those and we decided to not take that number down, and we're not going to increase because of we're really trying to get students to be able to access the courses there. So we've just left it at what we already have in place. So no other reason, no reason other than we already have them in place.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Any other questions?
Yeah, down where I see that Rebecca's on here and Kimberly is on here, Ms. Neal is on here, why not Ms. Pegram?
She should be on there. There's two agreements. There's one for the early college and there should be one for the high school as well. So this should be, yeah, she's on the
Okay.
So one is specifically for the early college and one is for the CCP program.
Any other questions? Thank you, Dr. Richardson. At this time, we are at the action items. And our first action item is the consolidated grant.
Good evening again. I'm here on behalf of Dr. Mary McLeod to present her consolidated grant. She's at her summer leadership for federal programs in Salisbury for these 2 days. The federal grant application, well, let me go back. On June 30th, 2025, we received an email from the federal government that federal funds were frozen for our consolidated grants. Then on July the 28th, we received another email that funds were going to be released to the states for their federal dollars. However, this is the information that we have. Those funds still have not dropped to the state, and we're waiting on those funds to drop to the state so they can be dispersed to the LEA. The only funds that was for sure that the district will receive, or PSUs will receive, would be Title I Part A, which is basic programs. And that allocation for that grant was $3,417,540. That is an increase from last year of $532,712. With that, those funds are to pay teacher salaries and tutorial programs, professional development for teaching staff, federal program staff and department, foster care transportation and homeless education, instructional materials for classrooms and student use. We put $150,000 set aside for North Carolina Pre-K, Smart Start, and EC Preschool to support our pre-K classes. And those funds are allocated based on the rank and serve formula for free and reduced lunch application percentages that are identified through SNAP or DSS. Migrant education for Title I Part C, those allocation of funds have not been dispersed, and we do not know the amount that we receive for migrant education at this time. But if those funds have received in the past, paid for 3 10-month full-time salaries and 1 12-month migrant recruiter position. So we're hoping to receive enough for those to pay for those 4 positions for this coming school year. If not, we do have a plan in place to ensure that those individuals still have a position or their salary will be paid through Title I Part A. Title II is supportive effective instruction. The allocation for that is $467,567. That is an increase of $55,408. Those funds are through human resources, and we do fund 3 personnel support coordinator salary. We do our tuition reimbursement, our retention bonus or sign-on bonuses for our teacher. We conduct new teacher orientations. We pay for mentors and supplies and materials and resources. Title III is our language acquisition. Those are for our students with ESL students, and that allocation is $88,079. It is an increase of $4,619, and that is for our language instructional educational plan for additional staff, meaning for a tutor, and also their materials and resources. It's not enough to support all of our ESL teachers because they are paid from our state fund, PRC 054. Title IV, student support and academic enrichment. Those funds are district-wide for all of our schools as well, and it was $216,771. That is a decrease of $1891. And those funds support 3 areas: well-rounded education, which is housed in curriculum; safe and healthy students, which is housed in our student support services; and effective use of technology integrations, which is housed in our technology department for those funds as well. In addition to that, we did have an increase of our private school participation. As you know, since 2020, we do have private schools that participate in our federal funding. Since during COVID, they participated in ESSER. So we had an increase of 13 students and an increase of 2 private schools participating in our federal funding. And if you'd like to know the name of those private schools, I have that information as well. We have 4, and they're not in Hope County. They are in Cumberland County, Greater Fayetteville Adventist Academy, School of Hope, Highlander Academy, and the Freedom Christian Academy. Because they can go participate in our funding because they live here with their kids, and they will go to our school, but they go to school at this private school, but they live in our school district. And so those funds, they can't participate because they're federal dollars. And you can also see on here the allocations for school by school, their amount that they receive as far as Title I.
What is homeless education?
Homeless education is our students through McKinney-Vento, through Dr. Owens' department, and that Title I dollars match what we receive. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, next we have policy 4318.
Madam Chair.
Can I get a motion to approve consolidated grant?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the consolidated grant.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. The motion has been made to approve the consolidated grant. It's been second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right. Thank you. The administration is requesting the board suspend policy 2420, the adoption of policy, which requires the Board of Education not to adopt policy amendments until a second reading, and adopt the proposed amendments to policy 4318, wireless communication devices, this evening upon first read. The reason the administration is making the request is not only to comply with the newly enacted legislation, Session Law 2025-38, HB 959, but also to ensure that Hope County School students, parents and guardians, employees, and the broader school community are aware of the district's expectations and rules surrounding the use of such devices prior to the beginning of the 25-26 school year.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
In accordance with policy 2450, suspension of board policies, I move to suspend policy 2420, adoption of policies. And it's a requirement that, the board not adopt policy amendments until a second read for the purposes of the board taking immediate action to adopt policy amendments to policy 4318, wireless communication devices.
Paul.
Okay. Second.
Madam Chair, I second motion to suspend policy 2420.
Motion have been made by Ruben Castellon and second by Angela Sutherland. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, and policy 2420 is suspended. Okay. Now that the board has approved the suspension of policy 2420, do I have a motion to adopt the amendments to policy 4318?
Madam Chair, I move to adopt the amendments to policy 4318, wireless communication devices as presented this evening.
Can I get a second?
Can we present the information to the public?
The policy is right here.
We will.
Can you,
It's coming up next.
Can it be, pulled out?
Yeah, because we got it.
It's right there.
Can you pull it up on the screen, please? Policy code 4318, use of wireless communication devices. The board recognizes that cellular phones and other wireless communication devices have become an important tool through which parents communicate with their children. Therefore, students are permitted to possess such devices on district property so long as the devices are not turned on, used, displayed, or visible during the instructional day or as otherwise directed by the district rules of district personnel. And then it gives us the definition, and it tells us some of the things that it includes, but not limited to the following. And if you can go up to B. Any other questions about this policy? This policy is presented for the public to be able to read and see, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. We had it to read over. I looked it over as soon as I got it. Any other questions? Or can I have a second to adopt?
A second.
Okay. The motion have been made by Ruben Castellon and second by Rosa McAllister McCray. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The ayes have it, and the amendments to policy 4318 are adopted as presented. Thank you so much. Next, we will move to state mental health plan.
Madam Chair, Mr. Superintendent, and members of the board, good evening.
Good evening.
I am here to present Hope County Schools mental health policy plan for 2025-2010. Beginning in 2020, the State Board of Education required that each LEA create a school mental health plan. And the school mental health plan is approved by the board it's reviewed and approved by the board every 5 years. So I am here tonight. I have, you have before you our school mental health plan. And so we're asking for approval on tonight because we will have to submit it to the state board by September 15th.
Did anyone have any questions? I did get an opportunity to look this over. I hope the other board members did. Can I get a motion to approve the 2025 Polk County Schools State Mental Health Plan?
I'll make a motion to approve this, state mental health plan as presented.
Second.
And the motion has been made to approve the 2025 Polk County Schools mental health plan. It's been second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
At this time, can I get a motion to go into closed session?
I move to go into closed session. Oh. Hold on. I move to go into closed session, under the North Carolina General Statutes, Rule 3-318.11, to prevent the disclosure of confidential personnel and students' matters, to consider matters related to initial employment of individuals, employees, and to consult with the board's attorney to preserve the attorney-client privilege.
Second. Okay, the motion has been made to go into closed session. It's been second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Thank you.